Well, hi everyone. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and I'm here for today's Cricut Chat. I put my once again. I put my very loud dog Lola in the bedroom, and I left Teddy Bear in there for company. So I just have Mr. Benji over here who's celebrating his Gotcha Day. He's been with us for 3 years, so we're celebrating his Gotcha Day, and he's also just turned 4. And I said, "You won't bark, will you?" And he only gave one little woof. So hi, he has just, and I just gave him some treats. Hey, so it is, what day is it today? Oh, there's his second bark. No barking, no barking, or we got to put you away, just like the other dogs. Okay. So it's what, Thursday? Today is Thursday. Oh my gosh, this week went by so fast. Today we're going to be working with the Cricut Joy and the Heat Press. We might even play with that mini. We're also going to be using the Heat Press guide, but it's not a guide, it's the app. And we're going to be personalizing these adorable baseball caps. So let me tell you a little bit about my friend Santo, who has been a huge supporter of mine, and is constantly giving me little tips. You should do this, you should do that. So he has a small business. It's called Espinal Brothers. And so I got this hat press, and I started looking around for inexpensive hats, and I did find them at Jiffy Shirts. They have hats, and also they have totes, like tote bags, and they have quite a few different colors. I got them in white, red, this light blue, a darker blue, and then a tan. I'm sure there were other colors, but this, I know he loves red, and red and blue. So this is what I came up with. I did use my hat press to do this part, but look on the back. I did the phone number, his phone number, and his name, because he sometimes will have some other people working with him. And this funny story, I met him, did not realize that he was an independent contractor, and I stopped him on the, like in the street. I literally put my car in park. It's not a busy street, but I saw him working on this house next door to me, sort of like on the crossroad. And so I was coming back from somewhere, and I stopped the car. I left it running, stopped the car, got out, and I said, "Oh, hi. You're doing some work. I need to find a contractor, and I'm wondering if you can give me your boss's business card." And it turns out he was the boss. So this is a sort of a nod of the hat, so to speak, a tip of the hat to Santo, because he is the boss of his own business. Now you can do all of these with, if you have the hat press, and I want to show you how. We're going to use the Cricut Joy, and also we're going to try both smart vinyl and vinyl that I got from a mystery box. So this vinyl was some white that came in a mystery box. It was a recent mystery box. And I want to show you the difference between smart and regular iron-on. Excuse me, smart and regular iron-on. So for this project, you're going to need something to cut on. So here I'm using my Joy, and I'm going to be using my iPad, and then something to press with, which is the Cricut Hat Press, and it comes with this lovely little head form. It's really quite sturdy. I do need to warn you, if you have someone, or you are allergic or something, there are walnut shells in here to allow for it to form better. So you may not be able to use this if you have some allergy issues. So just know that. I was able to do the back here though with my Easy Press Mini. So we're going to try it a couple of different ways. Okay. So let's get started. Oh, you're also probably going to need, um, a knife. So there's my True Control knife, a weeding tool, and some tape. Now, also, if we're going to use regular iron-on, we will need a mat, because remember, Smart Iron-On is the only thing that can go in the Joy without a mat. Um, and then for good measure, because I live with dogs, you're going to also need one of these little things that take off the hairs. Okay. So let's get started. I want to just say hello to Gloria, Loretta, Elizabeth, Lori, Joe, Janice, Leslie, Shirley, Susan, Flortopia. Oh, I love that name. Lori Jo, Bran, and Dawn, and Gail. And I don't see any other names. Oh, Loretta's here. Hi, Loretta. Mailed your package finally today. Mailed it. Okay. All right, so we're going to open up the Design Space app on the iPad. Now, clearly, you do not need to use this. You can use your phone, or you can use your laptop or your computer. But I really love this joy working with the app, and so that is what we're going to be working with. So, in this case, I thought about what I wanted to put. And I saw here that um, I don't know why my Joy is blinking. That's a little disturbing. I don't know why. Anyway, so I wanted to put something in the front of the hat. Obviously, that's where most hats are done. And I was originally going to do something on the bill, but I wanted to let you know that my friend and fellow product expert Carol Prevost, who's in Canada, and she has her group. Carol's Cricut Crafts, I believe, is her group, and she has her own YouTube channel. She tried that, and with the Cricut hats, and I hadn't even thought about it, but it's probably the case with a lot of these types of hats. You have to be very, very careful about ironing on the bill, because the bill is formed with a hard plastic. And if you do too much heat, she was trying to do infusible ink on here, and that's a very high temperature. It's like 380 to 400 degrees, and it caused warping on the bill. So I got a lot of folks telling me, be careful, Carol just did this. And I do thank you so much for telling me, so I wouldn't try and have the same result. And I did check with Carol, and she said she only experienced this with the Cricut cap. But I'm just going to assume that because they're so hard, that most of these types of baseball caps are made with something. I can't imagine it's fabric. It feels very plasticky. So I'm going to probably avoid the bill. Although I am using regular iron-on, and I might be able to do it with my mini. I think I'm going to just avoid it. And then I also look here on the back. I put his phone number and his name. So there you go. So I just opened up my Design Space, and let me move these over. And I chose text down here. You see? Oh, some bills have cardboard. Okay. I did not know that. Okay. So I chose text, and right here with insert font, I went through and I was looking at the Cricut fonts, and I wanted something kind of fancy. I had something in my head in mind that I liked. And then what did I decide on? I'll pick something, but I decided on, I'll tell you what font that I used. Mhm, mhm, mhm. You know what would be cool is if there it is. I used Baliga Standard Regular. That's what I use. So I added that, and then up pops my text box, and then I typed in Espinal Brothers. Okay. Now it's not centered, and I like centered everything. So I'm going to go to alignment and center it. Then I want to see how it's going to look. So in different colors. So I go to basic cut, and I'm going to just change it to blue just because I want to see how it looks. And gray is so blah, right? And that's it. I'm done with the front. And then for the back, so let me show you what I did for the back. I also added another text box, and I wanted to use something different than that Balaga, something, whatever it is. So I chose actually something really um, a standard one. Let me see. It was in like the first scroll. Let's see. These are obviously a little too fancy for my friend, and I think I chose this. Anley. Yes, I did. Anley extra bold. Okay. And then what I did was I typed his phone number, 753-9192. And then I hit return, and then I typed his name, Santo. Now, obviously this comes up really big here, and we don't need it that big, so in order to make it smaller I do have to pinch to make my screen smaller. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually hit this advance button and ungroup two lines. Now when we do that, we can start talking about size. Okay, so this obviously is very large. Let's have a look at how large it is. Okay, it's 8.68 inches with a height of not quite 1 inch. So we want to make this much smaller because it's just too big. And so I'm going to try to make this smaller if I can. How did I do it before? Let's do actions. This is what I did before, and I'm not sure why this is not working now. Edit. Oh, this is what I did. I just changed the width and the height down here. So I measured, and I believe that it's like 2 inches wide. So let's add it at 2 inches. Now I know it looks small, but it is not a very large area. So here is the area that I want to put the back on. So it's really just 2 inches, maybe a little bit more. One. Here we go. So it's like 1, 2, maybe a little more than an inch, but probably could go a little higher because we have this nice area here. So what we're going to do is change each one, both the name, we'll change it to 2 inches, and I have it unlocked, and I'm just going to make the height. Let's make the height a little bit bigger to accommodate for that 2-inch thing. Now, if you make the height, so here is a 2.25, and I'm making it 2 inches, and the height, if I change the height too much, it will kind of give it a warped, almost like a pulled look, and I don't want that. You see that? So I want to keep it in proportion with the width, sort of. So I'm going to just use 1 inch. Okay. And that even still looks a little bit. So let's go down. That looks better. Okay. So now I have Espinal Brothers, and I have Santo. That also looks a little bit stretched. So let's move it down a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. So we have the 3 things here, and we're going to cut them all out in the same color, but we need to change this so that the colors are the same and they'll cut on the same mat. So we're going to hit sync right here, sync. And you see here we have the blue, we have the black, or whatever it is, gray. So we're going to take the gray, and see this hamburger. That's called a hamburger icon because it's 3 lines, looks like a hamburger. So we're going to put our finger on that and we're going to move it up into the blue. And you'll see on my screen, doing the same thing with the Santo, you'll see on my screen that they are all the same color. This is going to have it land on the same mat. Even if we're not doing a mat, we're doing the smart vinyl, it'll all cut together. Okay, so we're all set here. I did before we're all set to cut. I did before we got on, make sure that we put our our mini, no, our Joy on Bluetooth connected. I'm actually going to I think I might disconnect this right now just because it's blinking and I don't know why. And then I'll reconnect it and see if that turns off. It did. It's not blinking anymore. So it's connected here. And on my Cricut Design Space app, I am going to go back to the hamburger and make sure that my machine selection is the Joy. And it is, but if it's not, this is where you would change your machine. Okay, then go back to the canvas. So now we have, oh, we didn't talk about Espinal Brothers and is it the right size? So in this case, it's 5 inches by 2 inches high. And I thought 5 inches was a little bit too big. So let me just, it's kind of difficult to measure these things unless you have a tape measure, which I do not have. So I'm going to say that, let's see, this is 6 inches wide, but I think 5 would be a little much. So I'm going to change it to like 4.75. Let's try that. It's just a slight difference, but for me, I just want it to fit nicely like it did here with the little space on either side. All right, so now we're ready to make it. So let's hit make it. And oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot to hide these things, which I do that by hitting layers and all these things. So we're going to hit layers. Okay. So let's do it again. All right, here we go. So this is doing it without the mat, and this is how it has set it up without the mat, which I don't know why it's doing it that way, but there you go. Now, if you want to use, your mystery box iron-on, let's go and change to on the mat. And we're also going to mirror this. Remember, we're doing iron-on. We always mirror. And let's close this. And you see here, it's all mirrored. And of course, it's changed all the way that we have this set up. So I'm just going to make good use of my iron-on and my material. So I've got this fitting on 5 inches of mat. So this is on the mat. Okay. And then we hit next. Now, because it's on the mat, I can't use smart material. If you want to use smart material, you have to do without mat. So in this case, I'm going to go to all materials and I'm going to look for, where's the iron-on? Iron-on, here it is. There's all my choices for iron-on. This happens to be plain everyday iron-on. And it's not the smart stuff. So I'm going to choose everyday iron-on. And one of the things that I always do is I put more pressure on, and here you go. It's ready to go. And actually, you can see now my Joy is blinking. So let's get our mat prepared and we can get cutting. So in this case, I have 2 size mats. I suppose I could use the small one, but I'm going to use the bigger one because what I did was I took the 12 by 12 sheets that this came on and just cut them to fit the mat. So take off this. Now I'm going to put this on with the shiny side on the mat. Let's put this right on here. Now I hope that I'm just going to turn this over because this, I cut it slightly off center here, and I don't, I don't want to go fussing with the mat. All right. So our mat's ready, and we are going to go ahead and put this into the machine. You notice that it's blinking now. So we're going to put it into the machine, and when it's all ready, we're going to hit go. So let's hit go on my iPad. Whoops, I hit it twice. I don't think that's going to do anything. So while I am waiting for this to cut out, I will talk to you a little bit about next week. So next week, we're still on the same schedule, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. And while I was swimming yesterday, I thought, you know what? I had bought an extra Cricut Joy for my friend Wendy at her shop, and I had such a fun time setting it up and teaching her how to use it, because she's so talented and she took to it really quickly. But I had such a great time. I thought, there are a lot of people out there that might be buying the Joy for the first time, or they're buying it for a friend, or maybe they have it and they haven't used it. So next week, I am going to do all Joy programming. In fact, I'm going to take it from the box and open it up and show you every single thing that this little beauty does. We're going to have a day that is iron on. We'll have a day that does a long cut vinyl. We'll have a day that does the insert cards. We're also going to focus on the Joy app and foiling. So we're going to have a blast next week. So just so you guys can see, I saw in the Cricut official group that people are saying, well, why would you buy a Joy if I already have a maker? And honestly, I think when it came out, it was really for the hobbyists. And so when we first got it, I was like, wow, it's so small. It's kind of cool. What can it do? And I actually took it through the paces for a whole month and found out what it could do, and it was really a lot of fun. I was able to bring it into my kitchen at the time, because it was in February or something, and it was super cold here. So I wanted to sit in my cozy kitchen with my coffee to do it, and that's how we got started on the daily videos. Is that I started doing daily videos about the Joy, and boom, so now that's not to say that that it can do everything. It can't. It can't do really, really wide cuts. You have to sort of trick it out if you want to cut things that are really big. But it really can do a lot. Okay, so it's done. Let's hit unload. But while I'm here, I'm actually going to go back, and I'm going to change the material to without matte. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure that it's mirrored. Okay, and we'll close it, and I'm going to move these guys over. So we'll cut it on both, you see. That's what we're going to do. All right. So in this case, because I changed the matte to without matte, I have very few materials to choose from. So you see here, there's all favorites and compatible. So I can choose Smart Iron-On, which is a compatible one. I'm going to change the pressure to more. And then I'm going to get out my Smart, wherever it may be. Where is it? Where did it go? Oh, I don't think I have enough of the white. So let's use red instead. I think the white was just a little piece and it fell off. So this is Smart Vinyl. There's nothing that indicates that it's Smart Vinyl. It just happens to be 5.5 inches wide. The thing that's different between this and this is that it's on a thicker transfer sheet. Now that is going to matter when we do our press. Okay, so that's why I thought we would do this, and we can just go ahead and hit go. while that's happening. So next week will be all joy all week. Isn't that fun? Also, let's just talk about our giveaways, because they're going on and we still have another week or more to get your name in. So every month we do a giveaway, and the prizes are provided by our friends at Cricut, and I thank Cricut all the time for that. And so this month I chose a Cricut Bright 360 lamp. This is the table lamp, not the floor lamp, and it retails value is $200. So you could possibly win this by just following me, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then if at once you've followed me, you would go ahead and click on the link that's going to be in the description that says enter your name for the raffle. So it's run by Rafflecopter. You go there and you type in your name and your email address. Now you can come back and do this every day for the whole month, until like the 29th, I believe. And so you can get more than one entry in. And then because this is just picked at random, you have many chances to win, right? So if you put your name in every day for 25 days, then your chances of winning are higher. It's kind of like the lottery. So so there you go. And then in addition to that, I do offer additional prizes, and the prizes this month they're sort of, I don't want to call them runner-up prizes, but there's always one big one and then smaller ones. So the smaller ones, there's, I believe, 5 packs of paper stuff. So you're going to get cardstock, you're going to get a blade, a brand new blade. Who doesn't like a new blade? Some mats, and some glitter cardstock, and whatever else I might find that at the end of the month, and I'll throw it all in there for you. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely get your name in. If you don't win this month, try again. We have new winners and all the time, and I try to be fair and tell the people that have won the big prizes that they really can't put their name in for 6 months. So that's how we kind of regulate it. Okay, so the smart material is done, so let's unload. Now, while I am going to do the weeding, I'm going to heat up my press. So I'm going to go to the Cricut Heat, app. So this is a free app that is used for either the Easy Press 3 or the Hat Press. Those are the only 2 presses that it uses. And when you open it up, you'll see here I've got my Easy Press 3, and then I also have the Hat Press there. So if you wanted to set up an additional press, here's where you would do it. And I got this from the App Store because I'm using an Apple product. It's in the App Store, but if you're doing Android, it works for Android as well. So I'm going to turn it on, and I just want to show you it automatically connects to Bluetooth. So none of that checking your settings and everything. It automatically connects, and we're going to let it sort of heat up for right now. And we will do some weeding here. So let me get my scissors, and I'm going to weed the red, and then we'll weed the white. So there's the red. Obviously we can't put red on red, so maybe we'll put the red on the blue. And here is the white, and I did not use all of this, so white is difficult for me to see. I don't know if other people find it difficult to weed, to see when you're weeding. So we're just going to grab, when you're weeding, you just grab that corner just like that. And you heard a little beep. That's my my press telling me it's all heated up. But know that it heats up to the last setting that we had it on, because otherwise we'd have to tell it what to heat up to. And the hat press does do infusible ink. It will do sublimation. It will do all of that fun stuff. It's really quite nice, and it's got a curved bottom that allows you to get it onto the hat, and so you get a good press in. Now, I did try, as I mentioned, I did try using for the back, I did try to use my mini. So I'm going to turn my mini on as well, just so that you can see what that looks like. So here we go. Let's just finish weeding. All right, let's do the Espinal Brothers first. So yesterday, I just wanted to, while I'm doing this, I wanted to tell you. So yesterday, I met with Wendy at Create and Escape, which is in Peabody downtown, and the director of Peabody TV, which is really an amazing studio. And I've been wanting to do something with them for so long, that when Wendy said, "Oh, I'm going to have a meeting with Camille, who runs it," I'm gonna make sure I got this A right. Espinal. Yep. Oh, I guess there's no. Yeah, there is. There's a little bit here. Okay. So we met at Breaking Grounds, which is our ARC funded coffee shop. I don't know if you know what ARC is, but it helps kids who are, it helps families really who have developmental disabilities or autism. I've actually worked with the ARC for a very long time because my son, who's autistic, get services from them. And a few years back, they developed an idea with the cultural collaborative, I guess, and of having like a place where kids could train how to do a job. And so what they do is they try to only hire kids who are in the job market and want to learn how to be a barista. So it's a really awesome program. They've been in business now for, I think it's like 4 or 5 years, and it's just so great. They graduate from the program, and they learn so many skills, such as how to take debit payments and cash, and be courteous, and also how to make some pretty amazing drinks, lattes and all of that stuff. So there's that. So anyway, so we met there. Sorry, I'm kind of making a mess of this phone number. So we met there, and we just started talking about Peabody and all the different things. And there's a brand new museum that's going to be opened up in the fall for soft launch. It's actually was a pop-up. It's a children's museum. And it started off as just like an idea, like Breaking Grounds, and now it's going to become its own thing. It has its own place on the square. It's called Curiosity. It's like Curious City, Curiosity. And that should be opening in the fall. Actually, I think they're going to be opening 753. I'm thinking that this number is not right. It doesn't look right, but they're going to be opening in the fall. And we have this event that we couldn't have for a couple of years called the International Festival. It's really great. It's been going on forever. It's like 30 something years. And so we couldn't do it during COVID, which was sad, because it's just like everybody from all different nationalities come to the square, and they eat and they drink and they meet all these different. We have so many nationalities here in Peabody, so you'll see Greek and Portuguese and Hispanic and oh, just everybody. I don't even know who all is there these days, but they have like entertainment, and it's really a fun thing. And it's this year, it's on September 11th, so it's a Saturday. So if you are in the area or you're local, I invite you to come down. It's a lot of fun. And actually, we are going to be, I'll be there, but I'm not sure if we're going to have a booth there, because we don't actually make any food. And it's a lot of it is food based, although they do have like art vendors and stuff like that. So yeah, so the Breaking Grounds is really awesome. And there's several kids, I don't want to call them kids, young adults that graduated and have gone on to work at like Starbucks. And now these are kids that otherwise wouldn't have jobs, fulfilling jobs. So it's really meeting a need in our community. Plus, their coffee's pretty good, and it's, you know, it's pretty nice set up there. And you know, I've videoed from there before with my friend Wendy. So so just so that you know, that's the company I'm talking about. All right, so I did read this, so let's talk about the difference. So this is done on regular everyday iron-on. See how flexible it is? And this is much less flexible because this is the smart material. So either way, you just need to pick the proper setting for this. And I am going to cut this down because I want it to sit closer to the brim, and I didn't do that the first time around. So I'm going to sort of cut it real close because I want it, oh, wrong one. I want to do the white one on the red. I want to cut it close. Okay. And then I'm going to just make sure, did I cut it the right size? And it looks pretty good. I'm not going to tape it on yet, although we do need to tape it because I need to heat it up first. Okay, so this is the form. It is a little weird to get used to. It's like a weight almost. So it's supposed to resemble a head. And we will take our hat. Now this hat is, I don't even know what this is made up of. It feels very cottony to me, but when I checked inside, where is the little thing that it says? It didn't say what it's made of. Shame on them. It just said an adult hat made in Bangladesh. So I'm going to assume this is a cotton poly blend, just simply because I don't know otherwise. It does feel a whole lot like 100% cotton, so might have to consider that. So I'm just taking my hat and I've opened up the brim here. That's just that. See, on the inside there's like a hem. So I'm just going to sort of get that around my little head, my fake head here. And just so you can see, this is how it's gone. And then I am going to once again look at this, and I like it. So because I am using the app, I am going to go back to the app before we do anything. Although you could, by the way, use this without using the app. I think it's cool to use the app. So let's do, we're going to choose our hat press and we're going to say start new project. Okay. Then we're going to choose our transfer material. So we're going to use this white, which was everyday iron on. Okay. And then as far as the iron-on goes, the first one I did, I chose cotton poly, but I'm starting to think this is 100% cotton. I might have to go back to the website to find out for sure. And again, I got those at Jiffy Shirts. They have more than shirts, obviously. So I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to send the settings to the hat press. And you'll see that the settings are, it's heating up and it's like kind of orangey, so I can't really use it. But while it's heating up, let's have a look at what I'm supposed to do. I have to preheat my blank. And remember, preheating is more about taking any kind of sizing or any special setting material they might have put on here. So that's why we preheat. So we're going to do this preheating, press that button and preheat. Now I don't know if you can see this, but it just counted down. I'll move it. Now, interestingly, it makes the shirt, the hat, darker. Interesting. So, okay, we preheated, and now we're going to put this on here. To hold it in place, we do need to use tape. Also, before I do this, because I am in the company of dogs, I do like to use my lint roller to take off any dog hairs that form, because you don't want to trap those dog hairs in there. Okay, so let's put it here kind of. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then I'm going to use some tape. Now, it's advised to use the strong grip tape, which you purchase from Cricut, but I have so much of this tape that I'm going to use this one. If I were doing infusible ink with this, then I would probably use the strong grip tape, because remember, infusible ink is it's a very hot application. It's like 380, and this tape doesn't stay on there. Okay, so we're ready. You see it says now I'm going to put this on for 60 seconds. I'm going to just show you that little thing again, the video that they work so hard on. So there we did, taping it, just what I just did, and then pressing it for 60 seconds. Isn't that a beautiful video? So once we are ready for that, oops, of course, I already preheated, and I want to make sure that we go ahead and see the countdown. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, we're ready. We're going to pick up the press, and I'm going to press this button, which is blinking. And I am going to then give it the full 60 seconds, and I'm going to constant movement. Now, in my brain, constant movement sounds like this, but it's really not. It's just keeping the press moving. And you do need to be sure that you're getting the entire area, even down here on the bottom, and then up here a little bit. So that's what that's all about, and a full minute. And then we're going to wait for it to cool, and we'll talk about the back while we're waiting for it to cool. And then we'll peel it when it's cool, because I feel like that we're going to get our best results that way. All right. Okay, so we're going to let it to cool. And just so you know, it does give you these care instructions. Wait 24 hours before washing. Hand wash in cold water. Do not bleach. Line dry. Do not dry clean. Okay, so there you go. So let's turn this around and have a look at our name and number business. So here it is. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. And this one looks a little bit like stretched out, but he will be very happy. And in fact, I think he might actually be watching today. Santo is my friend, and also he is a small business owner, and he appreciates and values small business owners like me, and has been a patron of mine since the beginning. He was my first patron. So he has been supporting me in my quest for becoming a true legitimate business since, oh, I don't know, for, let's see, since 2018 or something. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to preheat this just for a few seconds. I'm also going to try out on the other side. We'll try out the mini, okay? And let's do make again, okay? Skip that. And now we are going to apply the name. I think right here would look great. I don't want, and here's the thing about these caps is you can't like unfold it all the way, which is why I chose to put it here. All right, so let's see about it being here. It's not going to stay in place. Get my tape. And many of you know Santo because he's the guy that speaks Spanish and sometimes gets on my wireless. He also comes and walks my dogs and walks with me. So we go out and walk the dogs in the morning. Everybody stops because how often do you see 3 corgis walking together? It's quite rare, I think. So let's get this right on there correctly. Oof, struggling with this. All right, there we go. How's that? And then I'm going to take my press the little button, and start doing it for 60 seconds. We will also do the Easy Press Mini. I'm going to put it on 2 for the phone number so you can see how it works. So if you don't have a hat press yet and you wanted to do a hat, I can show you how to do it with the Mini. And the Mini, by the way, is on sale at Cricut. It's supposed to be $39, and also at Michael's for $39. And I mean, that's such a great price. Let's go over here on this side, and we will get our Mini involved. Where's my phone number? All right. Hi, Benji. Isn't he quiet? But oh, there it is. There's my phone number. Benji's so quiet. So here's the cool thing that we were talking about is I'm going to use my Mini here, preheat for 5 seconds. We're going to have a podcast. Wendy and I are going to do a podcast. Actually, there might be more than one podcast, and it's going to be very much like this program where it will be video and talking, but it's going to be Wendy and I, and it will be broadcast and also recorded in better video and better connection. Remember when we went down to Wendy's, we had a bit of a problem with, did I put that on correctly? Yeah. We had a bit of a problem with the Wi-Fi. Well, we don't have to worry about that because Peabody Access TV has everything. They've got, they're like a news crew. They've got all the equipment. And Camille said that a podcast that was videoed would be great. And so we are meeting in a couple weeks after the 4th of July to talk about this podcast. And I'm so excited. I actually have 2 different ideas. I wanted to do one that was based on, how creating helps with your mental health, or if you have issues and stuff like that, and also with an emphasis on women and business. And then the second one that we talked about was just about the city of Peabody and our events, because one of the big things that we talked about this year with Peabody Main Streets um, was the fact that we live next door to a highly touristy business. All right, I'm going to take this up. Oh, look at that. It didn't take off the B right. Oh, bummer. Let's check on the other side. No. Oh my goodness. What was I not paying? Okay, so it looks like it did this, but it didn't do down by the brim. So let's get the mini involved in this. Although I suppose we could use this, but I'm going to get the mini involved. Get that mini involved and do it right here. I just love this little mini. Anyway, so, for those of you who are watching from far away, Canada or international or whatever, or even in a different part of the country, um, we I live next to Salem, and in October, really in the whole fall, Salem becomes like a tourist trap almost. But and they have a ton of business and like restaurants and gift shops and everything that are supported by the tourism. And so don't want to say, we don't want the tourism, but most of the people you have to drive through Peabody to get to Salem. And so in the fall, it's like nobody stops, or I don't want to say nobody, but very few people stop. And we want to bring people to our city because it's really exciting and make it more of a destination. So that's the goal. That's what the mayor has been pushing for years. And we are making steps towards that over the years, and one of them being, having events and also just popping up and highlighting businesses and events in Peabody. So I'm pretty excited to be part of this project. And there's a lot more going on. So if you're interested. It's too close. It's too close. So Christiane is saying that I did it too close, but let's let it cool and check on the back here. So there is the Santo. Well, it's coming off, but it still feels as if it's got it needs a little bit more. Just give it a few more seconds. And you guys know, I mean, I like to do these things because if I mess up, you'll learn from it. And you'll learn the proper way to do it. I mean, I'm not, they call me a product expert, but I'll be honest with you, I'm no more of an expert than somebody who's been doing this for years and likes to try things out and get to the bottom of new products and stuff. So just giving it a little bit more heat. Let's see if the front is better now. Okay, that's working. That's working. I'm a little afraid, but I think it's working. The eye looks a little I wonder if that eye needs a little extra heat, but let's go on this side. I think I might hit the eye a little bit. See that. Now, I think it came out really nice, Espinal Brothers. But if you see something that maybe looks like it might come off, do use this or some sort of a backing or some kind of protection. Never iron straight on the vinyl itself because it will warp. Even though these don't use steam, it will warp the iron-ons. I'm just giving it a little extra oomph there. And let's see now. What? See, because it heats up. See that? It heated up the eye a little bit. So I'm going to have to let that cool. All right. Let's go around back and see what's going on there. All right. There we go. Santo and his phone number, which I can see is not on. Might have made this a little too big because at the edge, it doesn't seem like it's really on too well. This part here was done with the mini. Yeah, see the 9 is kind of a little bit warped. So I'm going to reheat it on that 9. Oh, Debbie, most vinyl is warm peel. Debbie had a garment decorating business she retired from in 2019 after 19 years of business. All right, so there's that. And let's go back and have a look at this side. All right, so there's the front. Espinal brothers, and here's his name, Santo. And I think I messed up the phone number a little bit. But you know what? Yeah, I did. I messed it up a little bit. But the next time, because he's a small business owner, it's not like I'm making like 100 hats for his business or anything. This one here, I don't know why it didn't come out. I maybe used a different font. I did use a different font. This one here is just a little too delicate of a font. This one is a pretty normal font. So that came out pretty well. So that's it, guys. That's how you do this. Let's see. So that's it for today. This is how you would personalize hats. I will give you the design space file for this. I don't know how useful it will be, but you can, sort of see what I did there in terms of creating the file. But this is all pretty easy, step by step, using the Joy and then using the Hat Press and the Mini. And I think the results are pretty fun, fabulous, right? I think so. And I'm sure I'll get better at it as I go along too. So, as will you, as will you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Time, pressure, and heat, temperature are the 3 key ingredients to applying vinyl. That's right, Debbie. Yes. Time, pressure, and heat, temperature are the 3 key ingredients to apply vinyl. Okay, so Loretta's asking for me to talk about the Zoom call. So every month, if you're new, every month we have a Zoom call where you can get on the Zoom and chat with all of us, the Cricut chatters, and I come to that. And it's usually quite long. So if you can't stay for the whole thing or you want to pop on after you get back from something, it's on the 25th, which is always on a Saturday. And we started at 7 o'clock. Sometimes it goes for several hours. So if you say are out with the fam for dinner and you come back in time, just pop on and say hi. And we do also broadcast that on YouTube. So in case you're shy on the video, you can be on the call without being seen, although we love seeing your beautiful faces. And so we love to have you on there, and no one is going to make fun of your accent, because as you guys know, I have a very thick New England accent, especially when I get tired. And nobody makes fun of what I say. And we have people with all different accents, and it's just fun. There are people that come from Canada, and I think one time we had some people from Ireland and England. It just was a lot of fun. So there is that. I'll be working. Oh, you will be? All right. Thank you so much. And we will see you again tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday already? Oh, so for tomorrow, I'm still torn, because I want to do a paper project, but I also want to do a Juneteenth project. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do. So so join me tomorrow for a mystery project that I will let you know later on in the day what I'm going to do. And then we'll close the week up with that, and then we'll see you again on Monday for our all joy week. It's going to be joy all week. Joy all week. All right, everyone, take care, and we will see you tomorrow. Hope you get some crafting in. Bye.